Have you ever felt like you're falling behind because everyone around you seems to be doing better? What if I told you that it's okay not to care who's doing better than you? Have you ever looked around and felt like everyone around you is moving ahead while you're stuck in the same place? You might see your friends getting promotions, buying new homes, or reaching goals that you haven't even started working towards. It's easy to feel like you're falling behind when it seems like everyone else has it all figured out. But here's something important to consider. It's okay not to care who's doing better than you. First, let's address why comparing yourself to others is so common, yet so damaging. We live in a world where success is often measured by external markers: how much money you make, the job title you hold, or the material possessions you own. When we see others surpassing us in these areas, it can stir up feelings of inadequacy or even jealousy. The truth is, comparison robs us of our peace and self-worth. It shifts the focus away from our own journey and makes us obsessed with someone else's path, which is both unfair and unrealistic. What if you let go of that comparison and embrace your own path? Your journey is unique, and it doesn't need to match anyone else's timeline. Everyone's life story is different. Your strengths, opportunities, and struggles are yours alone. Rather than focusing on who's ahead of you, imagine what you could achieve by focusing on your own growth and progress. What small steps can you take today that will move you closer to where you want to be? The idea that everyone around you is doing better can be discouraging, but remember, growth is not a race. Some people may move faster and others may take longer, and that's completely okay. Success isn't a linear process. There will be times when things move quickly and others when progress feels slow. That's part of life. It's not about how fast you get there, it's about the direction you're heading and the effort you put in. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on what you can control. Ask yourself, what actions can I take today that will lead to my success tomorrow? Success isn't defined by someone else's achievements, but by the effort you put into becoming the best version of yourself. Work on developing your skills, nurturing your passions, and investing in your personal growth. It's essential to practice self-compassion as you navigate your journey. You may not be where you want to be yet, and that's perfectly fine. Be patient with yourself and allow room for growth and setbacks. Everyone's life has ups and downs. What matters is how you respond to those challenges. Give yourself credit for where you are now, and don't measure your worth based on external circumstances. Rather than getting bogged down by the success of others, learn to celebrate your own victories, no matter how small they seem. Every step forward is a success. Take pride in what you've accomplished so far and use that momentum to keep moving forward. Success is a personal experience. It's not about what others are doing, but about how you define your own success. Maybe it's peace of mind, a loving family, personal growth, or the pursuit of something meaningful to you. It's not about how well someone else is doing, it's about how well you're doing, in your own way and on your own terms. At the end of the day, you are enough just as you are. You don't need to worry about who's ahead or who's doing better. The only thing that matters is that you're making progress toward your own dreams and goals. It's okay not to care about who's doing better than you. What matters is that you continue to work on yourself, focus on your own growth, and take pride in the person you are becoming. So, instead of comparing, celebrate your uniqueness and trust that your journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Welcome to Brain Vital Channel. If you're new here, we're so glad you found us. This is your go-to spot for easy, powerful tips to grow stronger, smarter, and succeed in life. Tired of being pushed around? Want to feel unstoppable and in control? Ready to discover the game-changing secrets that can take you to the next level? Smash that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the bell so you're always in the loop when we drop new videos. This isn't just fun, it's about unlocking your true power. You have a choice. Stay where you are or step up and become the best version of yourself. Now let's continue. Why do we compare ourselves to others? It's natural to compare ourselves to others. It's something that almost everyone does, consciously or subconsciously. The desire to measure up or find out where we stand in the world is deeply embedded in human nature. From a young age, we are conditioned to compare. In school, we compare grades. In society, we compare careers and achievements. We look at someone else's success and measure it against our own progress. But here's the thing, this constant comparison can be a trap. It's a cycle that can create feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. It's a trap because we are measuring ourselves based on someone else's standards, not our own. But why do we do it? Why do we feel the need to see how we stack up against others? In today's world, social media has intensified this comparison game. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok give us a glimpse into the curated, highlight reel versions of other people's lives. We scroll through posts, looking at their success, their vacations, their new homes, their perfect relationships. It's easy to feel like everyone around us is doing better than we are, and suddenly we question ourselves. Social media, the fuel for constant comparison. Social media has become a mirror where we not only reflect our own lives, but also hold up the lives of others. We see the perfect images of someone else's life, carefully crafted and edited, presenting only their best moments. What we don't see are the struggles, the failures, and the moments of doubt. It's easy to forget that what we see online is often far from the full picture. With every scroll, we're bombarded with images of people succeeding, achieving, traveling, buying things, or simply living in ways that seem out of reach. As we compare ourselves to these posts, we feel like we are falling short. It can trigger thoughts like, everyone else is doing better, so I must be failing. This kind of thinking is extremely common, and it's hard to avoid. It's easy to feel like everyone has it together, and you're the only one struggling. But in reality, this mindset is not only unfair to yourself, but it's also unrealistic, the illusion of perfection. Here's the truth. No one's life is perfect. The images we see on social media are often just a small fraction of a much larger, much more complex reality. These photos don't show the behind-the-scenes work, the failures, the struggles, or the difficult moments that people experience. When we compare ourselves to these carefully curated images, we forget that we are seeing someone else's best moment, the highlight reel. What's missing are the bloopers, the struggles, the failures, and the growth. These are often the parts that help people truly become who they are and achieve the success they share. Is comparing your journey to someone else's really a fair measure of success? Why comparison is unfair to you? Imagine if we only judged a book by its cover. We'd miss out on the depth, the intricacies, and the unique story behind each page. Your journey is like that book. When we compare our lives to someone else's, we often forget to take into account the full context of our own story. Each person has their own timeline, their own challenges, and their own circumstances. Someone might be ahead in one area of life, but they may be behind in another. Perhaps the person you're comparing yourself to has different resources, opportunities, or support. Maybe they started from a place of privilege, or perhaps they've been working on their goals for years, while you are just getting started. So, why is it unfair to compare your journey to someone else's? Because your life is not their life. You don't have the same experiences, the same environment, or the same opportunities. Comparing your progress to theirs is like comparing apples to oranges. They may look similar on the surface, but when you dig deeper, they are fundamentally different. The negative effects of comparison. Constantly measuring your life against others can have harmful effects on your mental health and well-being. Increased anxiety. Feeling like you're falling behind can create anxiety. It can make you question every decision you make, wondering if you're on the right path. Loss of self-worth. When you see others achieving more, you may start to doubt your own value. This can lead to a drop in self-esteem. A constant feeling of defeat. Even when you achieve success, the constant comparison can make it feel less fulfilling. You may find yourself constantly thinking, it's not enough, because others are doing better. Lack of appreciation for your own journey. When you're too focused on others, you lose sight of your own growth. You forget to celebrate how far you've come, because you're too busy looking at how far someone else has gone. Now that we understand why comparing ourselves to others isn't fair or healthy, let's talk about how to break free. Focus on your own growth. Shift your focus from others to yourself. Track your own progress, no matter how small it may seem. Celebrate your wins and embrace your journey, even when it's imperfect. Limit your exposure to social media. If social media makes you feel bad about yourself, take a step back. Don't let the highlight reels dictate your sense of worth. Practice gratitude. Focus on what you have rather than what you lack. Acknowledge your blessings, big and small. This shift in perspective will help you appreciate your unique path. Recognize your own timing. Remind yourself that your journey is yours alone. Everyone's timeline is different. The things that happen for you will unfold in their own time. Surround yourself with positivity. Build a supportive community of people who encourage your growth, not people who make you feel like you're not doing enough. Let their success inspire you without making you feel inadequate. The next time you catch yourself comparing your journey to someone else's, take a moment to reflect on your own unique path. You are not behind, and you are not failing. You are exactly where you need to be. Your journey is not their journey, and that's something to celebrate. Remember, your value is not defined by comparison to others. It's defined by your unique story, your growth, and your resilience. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself, not the best version of someone else. The importance of individual progress. When we talk about progress, many of us have a tendency to look around and measure our journey against that of others. It's only natural. We live in a world where social media, societal expectations, and even our personal ambitions push us to compare ourselves to people around us. However, real progress isn't about matching the pace or achievement of others. It's about focusing on how far you come from where you started, understanding progress beyond comparison. Imagine you're on a long journey. Along the way, there are roadblocks, detours, and maybe even moments when you want to give up. Progress is not about reaching the destination as fast as someone else. It's about the challenges you've overcome and the strength you've developed as a result. Every step forward, no matter how small, is an achievement. And those small steps are what lead to the bigger milestones in your life. If we look closely, progress often takes place in subtle, everyday moments. It's in the quiet victories that aren't always visible to others, like sticking to your goals when things get tough, or overcoming fear, self-doubt, or negative circumstances. Progress is the resilience you build, the lessons you learn, and the self-awareness you gain along the way. So, why do we measure ourselves against others? It's easy to get caught up in the notion of success, the belief that if we just had what someone else has, or achieve what they've achieved, then we would finally be successful too. But the truth is, success is personal and individual. It cannot be defined by anyone but you. Reflecting on your journey, the power of your own story. Let's take a moment to reflect on your own progress. Think back to where you were last year, or even 5 years ago. What were the obstacles you faced? What fears did you overcome? Maybe there was a time when you felt stuck, uncertain, or unsure about your future. Yet, here you are today, moving forward. The truth is, you've already made tremendous progress. You might not be exactly where you envision yourself, but think about how much you've learned and grown. Sometimes, progress looks different from what we expect, but that doesn't mean it's any less valuable. Your growth may not look the same as someone else's, but that doesn't diminish its worth. For example, let's say someone you know has a high-paying job, travels frequently, or lives in a luxurious home. These are things that society often equates with success. But have you ever considered that success could also be about personal growth, overcoming emotional challenges, building resilience in the face of adversity? Progress can mean developing a deeper understanding of yourself, learning how to love yourself, or building relationships with others that nourish and support you. These forms of progress are often overlooked, but they are just as important. Defining success for yourself. When we speak about progress, it's essential to ask yourself, what does success truly look like for me? Success doesn't look the same for everyone, and that's okay. It's not always about the material things or external achievements. For some, success is about peace of mind, balance, and happiness. For others, it may be about achieving certain career goals or making a difference in their community. Ask yourself, what would I consider a win in my life? Maybe it's something as simple as finding joy in your daily routine, or maybe it's creating a business that reflects your passion. Success could also be about finding the courage to step outside your comfort zone and take a risk, whether that's traveling alone, learning a new skill, or starting a new chapter in your life. The important thing is to understand that your definition of success doesn't need to align with anyone else's path. Someone else's version of success isn't yours to follow. Your success is about staying true to yourself and being authentic in your journey. The power of focusing on your own path. When we stop comparing ourselves to others, we open the door to creating our own success story. Your journey is unique, and only you know the challenges you faced and the growth you've experienced. You've already made incredible progress, even if it's not reflected in a traditional sense. So, think about this. How can you celebrate your progress today? It doesn't have to be grand gestures or big achievements. It can be as simple as acknowledging how far you've come, no matter how small the steps may seem. Each day is an opportunity to grow, learn, and make progress in ways that are meaningful to you. What does success truly look like for you, and how does that compare to someone else's path? Take a moment to reflect on that. When you stop looking at what others are doing, you allow yourself the freedom to define success on your own terms. Celebrate your unique path, embrace your growth, and continue moving forward with confidence. Remember, progress is not about how fast you go or where others are on their journey. It's about your own growth, the obstacles you overcome, and the strength you find within yourself to keep moving forward. Success has often been defined by external markers, wealth, recognition, status, and the material symbols of success that society typically values. We've all heard it. The more money you have, the more successful you are. Or, once you achieve these milestones, you'll have it all. But is that truly the case? Is success really about how much money you make or how many people admire you? For many, the idea of success revolves around tangible rewards, a high-paying job, a big house, fancy vacations, and a title that commands respect. These things are often seen as proof that you've made it. Society teaches us that success is about outward appearances, what you have, what you can show, and what others think about you. But if success is only about accumulating these things, what happens when you reach them and still feel unsatisfied? Is there something missing? Here's the reality. Wealth and accolades, while wonderful, don't always guarantee happiness or fulfillment. Sometimes they bring stress, expectations, and pressures that we don't anticipate. As much as society might glorify the perfect life, the richest people often struggle with their mental and emotional well-being, and sometimes even with their sense of purpose. Money can give comfort, but it can't always bring peace of mind or fulfillment. The danger of chasing someone else's dream. Think about this for a moment. We live in a world where comparison is constant. We're constantly exposed to the lives of others, especially through social media, where everyone seems to be living their best life. It's easy to start chasing someone else's version of success, the one that looks shiny, easy, and filled with accolades. But here's the truth. What works for someone else may not work for you. Their dream isn't yours. Chasing someone else's dream can often lead to dissatisfaction rather than fulfillment. Why? Because you might be focusing on an ideal that doesn't align with your true desires, needs, and values. Trying to live up to someone else's expectations can drain your energy, cause frustration, and leave you feeling empty no matter how much you accomplish. Ask yourself, what happens when you keep trying to fit into someone else's definition of success and it doesn't feel right for you? You end up feeling lost or unfulfilled, as if you're running in circles. This is where burnout begins to creep in. You're not chasing your dream, you're chasing someone else's, and it's draining. True success isn't measured by how much you have, but by how much you feel aligned with your life and your values. It's about finding fulfillment in what you do, even if the world doesn't necessarily see it as success. It's about having peace of mind, knowing that you're living in a way that aligns with who you truly are. Fulfillment is that feeling of deep contentment that comes from doing something meaningful, whether it's a job that brings joy, time spent with loved ones, or the pursuit of personal growth. Peace of mind is the freedom of not constantly comparing yourself to others or worrying about societal standards. And living authentically means being true to yourself, regardless of whether your choices fit into society's ideal picture. The idea that being rich equals being happy is a myth. Sure, wealth can provide comfort, but it doesn't guarantee happiness. There are countless stories of people who have achieved financial success only to find that their personal lives, mental health, and relationships suffered. Money can give you security, but it doesn't necessarily give you joy or peace. The happiest people are often those who have cultivated rich experiences, deep relationships, and a sense of purpose, things that don't always come with a price tag. True peace comes from within, not from the possessions you own. Are you living someone else's dream or your own? At the heart of all of this is a simple question. Are you living someone else's dream or your own? Are you chasing a life that society tells you should bring happiness? Or are you living authentically, following your true desires? It's essential to define success on your own terms by your own values and by what truly brings you peace and fulfillment. If your life looks different from the one you see others living, that's okay. In fact, it's more than okay. It's your unique journey. Don't let anyone's definition of success make you feel inadequate. You don't have to follow someone else's blueprint. What matters most is that you're building your own life, one that makes you feel fulfilled, at peace, and authentic. Success isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. It's not just about wealth or accolades. It's about finding joy, peace, and purpose in your own life. It's about living authentically and walking a path that feels right for you. Take a moment to reflect. What does success look like for you? Independent of others' opinions? Do you feel fulfilled by the choices you make each day? Are you at peace with the direction your life is heading? Or are you constantly looking at others, wondering if you should be doing what they're doing? Remember, true success is about aligning your life with your deepest desires, finding fulfillment in the process, and living authentically regardless of what others think or achieve. The benefits of focusing on your own journey. In a world where everyone seems to have their own set of achievements, successes, and goals, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparison. We all know that feeling, looking at someone else's life and wondering why we're not there yet. The reality, however, is that constantly measuring our progress against others can be exhausting and unproductive. But what if we decided to stop worrying about others and focus solely on our journey? The benefits of doing so are immense, and they start with a deeper connection to our true selves and our goals. How focusing on your own journey can transform your life. When you stop worrying about others, you free yourself from the constant pressure of living up to external standards. This is where the magic happens. You can now fully tap into your own potential. When you shift your focus inward, you begin to realize that the only person you need to compete with is the person you were yesterday. Your abilities, skills, and dreams are unique to you, and only you can decide how far you want to go. Think about it. How often do you catch yourself thinking, "I'm not as successful as they are," or "I should be farther along by now"? These thoughts are natural, but they don't contribute to your growth. They steal your mental energy and distract you from what you can achieve on your own terms. Focusing on your journey means giving yourself permission to pursue your dreams at your own pace, without feeling like you're constantly falling behind. When you aren't distracted by the expectations of others, you gain the freedom to make decisions that align with your true desires and passions. This might sound simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Think about the decisions you've made in the past. How many were influenced by what others thought or expected? Maybe you pursued a job because it looked impressive, or you made certain lifestyle choices because they seemed more acceptable. But what if you had made those decisions based on what truly resonated with you? What if you had chosen a path that felt authentic? By focusing on your own journey, you empower yourself to make choices that are in harmony with your personal goals. The more you align your decisions with what you truly want, the more fulfilled and satisfied you will feel in your everyday life. This process not only strengthens your sense of self, but also allows you to live more intentionally. Another remarkable benefit of focusing on your own journey is that you develop a clearer sense of purpose. Life becomes more meaningful when you aren't constantly trying to meet the expectations set by others. Purpose isn't something that can be found in someone else's life. It's personal. It's about understanding your values, what excites you, and what you want to contribute to the world. And when you stop looking outside for validation, you allow yourself the space to connect with your true purpose. This deeper connection to your purpose will naturally steer you toward the right opportunities, the right people, and the right path in life. The more you focus inward, the more you'll understand your own motivations and desires, which will guide you through life with confidence. The power of investing your energy in yourself. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on a powerful question. What if you invested all the energy you use to compare yourself into improving your life instead? Every time we compare ourselves to others, we give away precious mental energy. The thoughts that follow, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never be like them," "I'm behind," only drain us and prevent us from fully embracing our own potential. What if we stop this cycle? Instead of focusing on what others have or do, imagine redirecting that energy into taking small, meaningful actions that contribute to your personal growth. Every moment you spend comparing yourself to someone else is a moment you could have spent building the life you truly want. Ask yourself, What could I achieve if I stopped looking over my shoulder and started focusing all my energy on becoming the best version of myself? This shift in mindset is transformative. When you stop worrying about others, you start seeing opportunities in your own life that were always there, waiting for you to grab them. Finally, focusing on your own journey allows you to embrace who you are. Too often, we get caught up in pursuit of a life that isn't ours, shaped by other standards and expectations. But what if the key to happiness was realizing that you're enough just as you are? And there you have it. By setting your own benchmarks, focusing on your personal goals, and letting go of unnecessary comparisons, you can truly embrace your own unique journey. Remember, your path is yours alone, and comparing to someone else's will only hold you back. So, take that first step today, whether it's writing down your goals, taking a break from social media, or surrounding yourself with supportive people. Every small step you take towards living authentically will bring you closer to the peace and happiness that you deserve. Now ask yourself this: are you living someone else's dream or your own? Is comparing your journey to someone else's really a fair measure of success? What does success truly look like for you? And how does that compare to someone else's path? Watch next video for continuation. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe for more empowering content like this. And always remember, it's not about who's doing better than you. It's about doing better than you did yesterday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep thriving on your own terms.